When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, Mek Wi Talk, my people, Mek Wi Talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Mek Wi Talk, people, Mek Wi Talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. So people, Mek Wi Talk. Hey. When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, Mek Wi Talk, my people, Mek Wi Talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Mek Wi Talk, people, Mek Wi Talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. So people, Mek Wi Talk. Hey, we're living in a world that on ourselves we must depend. Mek Wi Talk.
Good evening or good night, good night, good night, good night. Sorry for the late start. Oh my God, I do apologize to everyone. I was supposed to do a lot of things to make me look much better, but we do apologize for all of this. This evening, it is our current affair program. Every Monday evening, the program starts at 8 o'clock, but I come on from 7:30. 8 o'clock, our guests come on in, and we have a chit-chat about current affair issues facing our country and indeed the wider world. This evening, I'm going to have with me none other than my two good friends, Wilfred Rattigan and Head Boy. We're supposed to have an attorney at law to come and speak to us about Jamaican Americans rooting for Kamala Harris, but having mixed views about the immigration issues, because if Donald Trump should win, it's going to be a great problem facing many of us Jamaicans. But this evening, we're going to speak about that also. We're going to speak about INDECOM. INDECOM is saying that majority of the Jamaica Constable Force members refuse to wear their body cams. I want to say good evening to everyone who are just joining us. Good evening to the Mek Wi Talk program, a new edition of the Mek Wi Talk program. It's a current affair every Monday. Every Monday, we have a current affair program right here in the Mek Wi Talk program, hosted by yours truly, Jeffrey Tavares, Head Boy, and Maria. But this evening now, we're going to have with us this evening none other than Mr. Wilfred Rattigan and Head Boy coming on this evening. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Share the live feed to everyone. Share up the live feed. We will not be taking any calls this evening because we have to put up some system that we have here. And the producers are saying to me, don't take any calls this evening. But we're waiting on the guests to join us. In the meantime, it is now 7:41. We're listening from around the world and the Eastern Caribbean. It is 7:41 in Kingston City, Jamaica. 7:41 in South Florida and Central Florida. I get to understand there is a hurricane or some tropical depression threatening for the land of wood and water. The land of wood and water. There is a tropical depression out that we need to pay keen attention to. There's a tropical depression out, and it doesn't look good at all. Does not look good at all. Good night, Lady Reynolds, my auntie who's on here tonight with us too. Good night to all my family members from around the world who is watching us. I get once I have, well, we have family members all over the place, all in South Africa. I want to say good morning to Ambassador Andy Mashiley over there in South Africa, who is watching us. Good evening to my beautiful wife, who I think she's watching us also. Good evening to JP, Garfield, all who are on the platform here. Good evening to you. Good evening. Good evening. Welcome to a new edition of the Mek Wi Talk program. It is the Mek Wi Talk program, new edition on Mondays, where we have, it's a current affair program, where every Monday we come on air and we speak about issues facing our country. This evening, we're going to speak about INDECOM. And Attorney Law was supposed to come on with us, but due to the circumstances beyond her control, she is unable to come on with us this evening. I just want to say to everyone who is joining us that we must remember our country, not only in the time of natural disaster, but remember our country in our prayers all the time, and countries from around the world. Because if we read Revelation, it speaks about the end of time. And when you look, and for those who grew up in churches, our grandparents and our godparents and our grandaunts will know that the time is really at hand because of what is going on. A lot of people may say, Jeffrey, but everybody been saying that from Wapi kill Philip. I agree with you, yes. But at the end of the day, when you look at what is going on around the world, you have to ask the question. You really have to ask some questions of what is really going on. What is really going on? Well, this evening, as I said before, I'm waiting on my guests to come on. There's a new current affair program we're having. Let me get something here. Let me say something to you all here. This evening, well, over the weekend, there was a mass shooting in our country, Jamaica. Are you all hearing me clearly? Let me know if you're all hearing me clearly. There was a mass shooting in our country, Jamaica. And every time we hear about mass shooting, it begs to ask the question, what sort of data are they using? Thank you very much. What sort of data are they using? You ask questions about that because a mass shooting on Saturday or on Sunday, I think. On Sunday, yes. There was a mass shooting about a couple weeks before. And based on all of this, you ask questions. What is really going on in our beautiful island, Jamaica? And people may say you come on air and you bring down the country. You're not really bringing down your country. You're asking questions about what is going on in the country. You're asking some serious questions. Very serious questions. And for those who may think that we are the one who is bringing down this beautiful island of ours, we're not the one. The data that they're using, I don't think the data is correct. I may be wrong or I may be right. I don't know. But that is my feeling. I do not think the data that they're using towards the crime situation in our country is correct. INDECOM commissioner is saying that police refuse to wear body cams or body cameras. And You wonder sometimes if these police officers really mean people well. Because if they refuse to wear body cams, then that is to show you that they don't give a flying kahuna about the Jamaican people. It's a willy-nilly thing. They can go out and shoot anybody they feel like shooting, and nothing comes out of it. Begs to ask the question again. Is the Commissioner of Police making sure that those who are under his command, the inspectors and the superintendents, following his order? Is there any if a person refuses to wear the body cams, is there any implication for them? Is there anything that they say, okay, you don't wear it, then you're going to face something, some disciplinary actions? But it cannot be that we have police officers going around willy-nilly, refuse to wear body cams, beat up citizens, and then nothing comes out of it. One moment for me, please. Don't move over. No, one moment for me. Yeah, sorry about that. It begs to ask questions. And we must not sit down in this country and just leave it alone. We must not do those things. We must stand up for what we believe in. And we must demand accountability from the powers may be. Jamaica is facing a general election come 2025. Are we going to go into the general election the same way like other elections? Have we heard anything from the two political parties in this country that say, yes, there are some plans for this country? Those are the things that we must ask ourselves. Have the Jamaica Constable Force come out and tell the Jamaican people how many cases they have, or how many cases have not been before the court? How many cases have they solved or solved? Have they asked those questions? Have we, the Jamaican people, demand from the Minister of National Security and the Commissioner of Police? You have outstanding cases. How far are they? How far are those cases? But yet we don't. We just sit down and accept it and say, okay, it's just, I saw them stay, I saw things stay, I saw things set. We don't ask any questions. And yet, come January or February or September of next year or November, we jump up and down and bandwagons and jumping up and down for the two political parties. But yet our country is in a serious dilemma. Serious dilemma. Our nation is not where we want it to be. Our nation is behind a country that many of us don't want to speak about. But yet that country don't have the level of murder. The level of murder that we have. That country don't have the level of murder that we have. And we sit down in this country because it doesn't affect us. It doesn't affect our family members, our friends. Thank you very much, Alan. It does not. And we cannot, as a people, just sit back and say, okay, why we can't do nothing because of them in power. Yes, they are the ones in power. But are we going to continue like this? Every 5 years, they come and they promise that we can see with our windows and door open, and nothing has been done. No effort has been made to solve our crime pandemic in this country. Every day you get up, somebody's gone down in this country, a mass shooting. You used to hear about one person is shot. Now it's 5, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Another got 8. 2 or 3 is fatal. And yet they come and they tell the people of this nation that crime is trending down. This a percentage from that the percentage. And you ask time and time again. One moment from Mr. Rattigan is calling me. Live and ear no Ratty. What going? All right, let me do it for you. It's on your phone. It's on your phone. It's on your phone. All right. Okay. All right. Yes, sorry about that. You know, and you ask question time and time and time again. What is next in this country? One moment for me, please. Let me just do something here. Yes. Time and time again, you ask yourself, what is next in this country? But yet, we as Jamaicans just sit down and we do nothing about it. Let me see here. I think I have Mr. Rattigan on. Mr. Wilfred Rattigan, you hear me, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you, Mr. Tavares.
Yes. Welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you for having me.
Your views on what is going on where INDECOM is saying that police officers refuse to wear body cams.
Well, they shouldn't. It shouldn't be a public statement. That's something that they should raise with the High Command and the Federation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I mean they can say it, but I mean I don't know how that's gonna change things. The way they should have done it. I mean, I'm kind of being presumptuous into believing that they haven't done it. But if I were in their position, I wouldn't be making any public pronouncements about it. I'd be going to the High Commission and trying to convince them that, well, not even convince them, trying to explain to them that it's the right thing to do. Plus, they've been funded. Mm-hmm. They've received some funding for it. So why aren't they not wearing it? And then if that didn't cure the problem, then I'd bring a lawsuit.
I want you to listen to something here. I hope you can hear it, because where I am not set up for certain things, but I hope you can hear this.
However, as of yesterday, the 31st of October, 149 people have been killed so far this year, and a further 66 people shot and injured. And as pointed out, the current projection shows that unless trends are reversed by the security forces in Jamaica, 2024 will see the highest level of security force fatal incidents.
Hold on, Mr. Rattigan, are you hearing it?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Go ahead. Hold on a minute.
However, as of yesterday, the 31st of October, 149 people have been killed so far this year and a further 66 people shot and injured. And as pointed out, the current projection shows that unless trends are reversed by the security forces in Jamaica, 2024 will see the highest level of security force fatal incidents since 2013. In 2013, it was 253. So there is a significant issue at present. 2019 saw the lowest number of fatal shootings at 86. Between 2019 and now, there's been an 80% increase in fatal shootings. Each year it has moved up from 115 in 2020, 127 in 2021, 134 killed in 2022, and 155 last year. And we're at 149 now. The report talks about the incident of multiple death incidents, that is the number of people killed in a singular incident. And in 2023, that number was 20. But so far this year, multiple death incidents have accounted for 30 people being shot and killed. There were 2 incidents where 4 people were killed in the single matter, and 2 incidents where 3 people were killed, in addition to the multiple double fatal shootings that we see. What we also noted was, again, the issue of a person being shot and killed or a person being shot and injured where they have no weapon at all, neither a firearm nor any other weapon, a stone, scissors, stick, or other implement. And that was a feature last year and has been a feature for over a decade, that nearly 1/3 of all people shot and killed or injured do not appear to have, or certainly no weapon of any type is recovered from them. This year at the moment, with 2 months still to go, the full data has not been assessed, but it would appear that a smaller number of people, a reduced number of people, have no weapon of any sort. But that is to be.
Mr. Rattigan, based on what the Commissioner of INDECOM is saying, your views on that, sir?
Well, I don't know where he's getting his stats from, but it would appear as if the number of killings by the authorities has gone up, or it's projected to go up. And if you're looking for reasons for that, there are a number of reasons. You can start with the fact that we have a government that, for all intents and purposes, they're saying that, shoot to kill, shoot first and ask questions after. And I think the security minister made some pronouncement to that effect. It said that they train them to shoot straight. Something to that effect. I'm can't quite quote him, but to paraphrase it would appear as if he's giving them a license to put discretion at bay and just do whatever they need to do. Then there's another problem of the amount of guns in Jamaica. Everybody have guns. So, and we're talking about instances now where they shoot people who possessed or who had a weapon on their person at the time.
Mm-hmm.
What we see is the society just coming apart at the seams. There's very little, scant regard for life, no respect for law and order, and a disintegration of the family, and we see the poor education. All of these things are contributors.
Do you believe, Mr. Rattigan, that the JCF is telling the Jamaican people the right statistics of crime in our country? Because every week you hear about a mass murder in Jamaica. Yeah,
well, look, they've said it before that there's a proliferation of gangs in Jamaica. They said it's been reduced, but still, at one point I think they said they had like 300 gangs. I don't know how they define a gang, but if it's more than 2 people or whatever, and I don't know what their intentions are, what their communication system is like, what the membership, like the hierarchy, a whole bunch of things. We don't know I have to go back and look to see how they define a gang. But they're saying that they have more than 100 gangs in Jamaica. And you have more than 100 illegal points of entry. And even the legal points of entry, they're not properly secured. So guns are coming in like the floodgates have been opened. So everybody have a gun. And not everybody is, even though you have the unemployment rate at 4.2%, not everybody is willing to work for minimum wage. And especially when they see the gangsters on the corner making what you make in a week for minimum wage, they can make it in an hour. So there's no incentive for people to work. And then if you look at the work, we call them, a lot of them, they're growthless jobs. They don't contribute anything to the country because it's minimum wage. And a lot of these people, they don't have a medical coverage, they don't have insurance, and a whole range of things that a regular employee of a company would get. These people are not getting those benefits. So the question is, people are, and what that tells you is that people are struggling. They're just surviving. Because in the main, people won't take them kind of jobs. You take a job that pay you $15,000 a week and you have no benefits. None. That means, what that means is that you're forced to take, you have nothing else to do. And a lot of people not taking it. And what they don't tell you, they tell you about 4.2% unemployment. They don't tell you about the hundreds of thousands not working. Are just stop looking for a job. So it's a lot of things to consider why these things are happening. And what the gentleman did was he gave you some statistics. Now people will quibble with them and say we don't know where they come from and we don't know if they're accurate or whatever. But the fact of the matter is that things are getting from bad to worse, and we don't know. We don't see no relief in sight. The government, the Prime Minister will tell you that he spent more money fighting crime than any other administration. That might very well be true, but then when you look at the results, you can say that he's a colossal failure, because if you spend all of that money and the crime rate still cannot get, the murder rate can't get below what when he took office, what it was. It was 1,208. And it hasn't been 1,200. It hasn't been at 1,208 or below 1,208 since 2015. So and him spend all of this money. So what I tell you. And by the way, when him say crime is decreasing, you have to be careful about the statistic. It's assuming that the numbers are correct. We don't believe the numbers to be correct, but assuming that they're correct. What he's actually saying is that the numbers are decreasing from the numbers that were rising during his administration. The true test is that when him get it at 1,208, him say Jamaica was a washing crime and crime, murder rate sky high, blah blah. Well, it was 1,208. So in order for him to impress the Jamaican people, he must get it to 1,208, or more than like below 1,208. And it has not been below 1,208 since he took the reins of power. So when him tell us a crime a decrease, it's almost like you create the problem and then you try to resolve the problem and say, see, I decrease it. The true number, the true target must be 1,208. Not the number that happened last year, the year before, because all of those things happen under his watch. Now I know what I'm going to say. I'm going to say, well, the money that we invested, we're seeing the results and whatnot. People, 8 years are too long, so we see that the result there. Too long.
Let me ask you this question, Mr. Rattigan. As a retired FBI agent, high-ranking FBI agent, if you give your let's say your officers who you're over them, and you give them body cams to wear, and they're not wearing it, but yet crimes are committed and people dead and all kind of something, but there's nothing to show that they were wearing their body cams, wouldn't there be some penalty for that, sir?
No, man. If me in charge, man, body cam have to wear, man. You man? And body cam have to be turned on as long as they're on duty. Body cam have to be turned on. It's that simple. We wouldn't get to the point where what if? We wouldn't get to that point there. It would be like, look, this is an order. It's an order. You must wear a body cam when you go out when you check in on duty. And the only time you turn off is when you finish. You finish your duty. But it must be turned on. It's that simple. You can't have this nonsense where you set up a rule and then you don't comply with it. And then the money we spend, how much are you can buy using for buy body cam? When we talk about that, the American government gave them some, I think it is like 100, I forgot what the number was, 3. So him could have buy the rest of them. And look, the Jamaican government has had close ties to China, and them could have China make them, dirt cheap. I don't know what the quality would be like, but them could have get the Chinese for cut a deal and get the rest of them made in China. Or purchase them elsewhere. But the idea that you have policemen without body cams is just ridiculous. It's just like the idea if you have policemen who they don't have a weapon, they have to check out a weapon when they go on duty because they don't have a personally owned firearm, and the government doesn't have enough firearms to give them one to take home. So them after when them check in on duty, them sign out, and when them duty, them sign it back in, which is foolishness. You can't fight crime that way there. So now you have the poor policemen and women going home defenseless. Then some of them come from garrison neighborhoods, and then they have nothing to protect themselves. Foolishness.
Then, does it make sense for us to have INDECOM? Jamaica, does it make sense for us to have a commission of where INDECOM can go around and say, okay, XQYs? Because INDECOM has found some things here. And to me, it looked like it is going through one isn't coming through the other. Nobody listen to INDECOM.
INDECOM has been, you need an organization that can look at police shootings. Now, what it should look like and what it is, they're two different things. And they said that this one is independent. And remember, to them even went to court because one of the things was whether or not they had the power to arrest anybody. Everybody that was just an investigatory agency. They just investigate. And then you have to look at the qualifications of these people. You have to look at the mandate of the organization. A whole lot of things wrong with it. The concept is a correct concept. I think it's a noble concept. The idea that, hey, every time you have a police shooting, we should have an investigation to figure out whether it was a good shooting or not. Yes. But the way that they're doing it, I have issues with. I question it,
Because if the police not wearing their body cameras, INDECOM know that. What power does INDECOM has to demand the JCF members to wear their body cams?
It can't demand them because it's not a police agency, and it doesn't have the power to demand them. It can only request. It can suggest, right? But it cannot tell them that you must wear your body cam. And then the other thing is that, and I think you referred to it earlier. Okay, so they don't wear the body cam. What are the consequences to be imposed upon these officers who don't comply? INDECOM not the power to punish anybody because they don't wear body cam. Similarly, they don't have the punisher. They don't have the right to punish anybody who don't wear a bulletproof vest. They can go to the government and they can scream. What they should be doing, they should have a press conference, and even before a press conference, they should liaise with civil society, business society, faith-based society, communities, all that. Get everybody on board and say, listen, government, when you get so much money to spend and buy equipment and not claim so quit the police men and women, but we know that that's not the case because a lot of them, they don't have body cameras. Every single one of them should have a body cam. You should have a surplus of these things because that's one of the ways of actually determining what took place in a police shooting. Because otherwise you're going to rely on witness testimony, and it go memories fade, and sometimes people lie, and sometimes people honestly them don't understand what them saying. Because if you put two people to watch an accident, you're probably going to get two different versions of how the accident took place.
Three different versions of the same person?
Yeah, a body cam, you can't, a body cam won't lie. You see what you say, it's right there. So, but INDECOM has no power to command the police to wear them. That's left up to the high command. So okay. The police commissioner have to get involved in that.
Okay, because as I said in my opening statement, the Minister of National Security is the boss. Under the Minister of National Security is the Commissioner of Police. Under the Commissioner of Police, you have inspectors, superintendents, and so forth. if the commissioner of police give out an order and the order is not being followed, that means that the inspectors and superintendents is at fault for all of this.
Well, before you can even do that, you have to make sure you have the equipment.
Okay.
If you don't have the equipment, then you tell the people themselves they must wear. Them can't wear what them not have. So somebody should be the police services commissioner, some other commission, some other body supposed to say, listen, no buy all of this body cams. Where are they? First thing. On the buy them, first thing, on the buy them, on have them, how much of them on have? How many policemen and women on have? How much of them have the body cam? And then you find that out. You find out the number of body cams that they have. You find out, and then you corresponding. You find out how many people they have that would have to wear the body cam, because not everybody going to wear the body cam, because if like the police commissioner, of course, them now wearing a body cam, and the high command them now wearing a body cam, because them spend all day in the office, them not investigating crimes or arresting anybody. But the people on the front line, you have to really figure out, okay, how many of them have body cams? And then when you find out that number, then you say, then how come them not wearing them body cam? How much of them find out how much of them are wearing the body cam? And then when you find that out, no, you start having a problem. So you have to hold the police high command, the police executives, you have to hold them accountable. And then you go from there.
But when you look into all of this, though, Mr. Rattigan, if I must say good evening to Major Finch Smith, who is watching us, and Mr. Christopher Henry. I'm having an echo in the system here. Anyway, I must say good evening to all who are watching us. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Share up the live feed. Mr. Rattigan, if with all of this going on, sir, do you think that the Commissioner of Police is to be blamed for the high crime rate in our country, wherein police not wearing body cams? They're saying that how much hundreds of people die under their watch, and nothing is being done. INDECOM can't do nothing about it.
Yeah, well, look, there's enough blame to go around. You can't blame the police commissioner, but the police commissioner has a boss, Minister of National Security. You can't blame him too. And the Minister of National Security has a boss, Prime Minister. You can't blame him too. You can't blame all of them. They just can't blame the police commissioner. Yes, he should be blamed. But if you talk about holding people accountable, then hold everybody accountable. Because everybody has a role to play in the policing of Jamaica. All of the people I just mentioned, they have a role to play in the policing of Jamaica, the safety and security of the citizens. And if that is not being done, then everybody should have suffered some consequences, whether it's political, administrative, criminal, or otherwise.
And with all of this, then, Mr. Rattigan, it seems as if the country is not going in the right direction when it comes on to crime, sir.
Well, it's not. And when you talk about not going in the right direction regarding crime, you talk about crime reduction. It's not.
Yes.
It's not. So, no matter what, figure out how to deal with that. But look, it's
Mr. Rattigan? Oh, Lord. Mr. Rattigan? Seems that we have lost Wilfred Rattigan. I don't know what's going on here. But we're speaking to retired FBI agent, talk show host, attorney at law, Mr. Wilfred Rattigan from Regent Rattigan. We're speaking to him about what is going on with INDECOM. INDECOM has put out a release saying that police officers in Jamaica not wearing any body cams. Mr. Rattigan, you there with us? Wilfred Rattigan? Seems like he got a call or something. Anyway, we're speaking to Wilfred Rattigan. Mr. Rattigan, you there?
Yeah, man, pick up me. Yeah, man, you can't hear me?
I'm not pick up.
No,
okay,
man, pick up me. No, you can't go on top. Me, I pick him up.
Okay, go ahead. No problem. Yes, we're speaking to Wilfred Rattigan. pertaining to the INDECOM and the reduction of everything that is going on in our country. We're going to play a next video by INDECOM chairman. Listen to this video here.
But what was a feature of last year and still remains a feature of this year, which the Commissioner has touched on, of the 252 fatal and non-fatal shooting incidents in 2023, it is a remarkable feature that not a single one involved the deployment of a working body-worn camera. One camera was deployed in a fatal shooting incident, but the officer failed to turn it on. And that matter, as has been stated, was reported to the Commissioner and the JCF. Officers have cited that they are either not trained in the use of the body-worn camera, despite wearing them, the station is not equipped with body-worn cameras, and that the issuing officer responsible was not present on the occasion to deliver the body-worn cameras. And the Commission strongly asserts that the body-worn camera will enhance evidence-gathering processes, allay the continuing public concerns of alleged abuses of security forces, and support traffic enforcement. And so far this year, 4 body-worn cameras were affixed to officers where they were engaged in non-fatal shooting incidents. In 3 of those 4, the officers did not turn the cameras on. And on the 4th occasion, the officer turned the camera on post the event. So we see a post-incident matter where an injured person has been shot by the police. Those matters have also to be reported to the Commissioner of Police. So whilst body-worn cameras are being deployed in certain circumstances, there seems to be a pattern that they're not being activated. As of yesterday, the number of people killed in planned operations this year is 58 from 50 operations. So 40% of people killed so far this year have come from planned operations where these specialized teams are entering properties, yards, premises, and the person is ending up dead. In not one of those planned operations, as already identified, was body-worn cameras deployed. And we make the point that body-worn cameras are available to the Jamaican Constabulary Force. They are equipped to some 100, 200, and those body-worn cameras need to be deployed with the specialized operation teams, the fugitive apprehension teams, the CTOC and specialized, so that when these operations take place, there will be an accountability as to what has occurred. Because whilst we have the account and narrative from the police, many of these shootings in the planned operations, a different account is being provided by the citizens, some witnesses and family members.
Different account. Mr. Rattigan, you hear that?
Yeah, me here, man. Mm-hmm.
Isn't that some serious problems that we're facing in this country, sir?
Very serious problem.
Because if the security force is not doing what they're supposed to do, they are breaking the law themselves.
Yeah, them not activate the cameras. They don't have enough cameras. Hold on, Jeffrey. Hold on.
Yes. We're speaking to Wilfred Rattigan, retired FBI agent.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can I get a ride?
Yeah, you can get a ride, no problem.
Thank you.
All right.
He's picking up his sons. That's why you hear that in the background. Somebody asking for a ride.
Yeah, man, one of them brethren, I have to drop on one of them brethren. I know when parents there. Yeah. Yeah, man, but yeah, may I listen to you, Jeffrey?
In all what is going on, in everything, Mr. Rattigan, the buck, as you said, stop with the Minister of National Security.
And the Prime Minister,
and the Prime Minister. And you hear none of them address the situation, sir.
Exactly. You're absolutely correct. You don't hear none of them.
So in all of this, then, what should the Jamaican people do? Should we just sit down and accept this and say, okay, election coming around the corner, let's see what's going to happen? Because if you spend billions and billions of dollars on security in our country, and people, there's mass shooting going on every single weekend, every other weekend.
Because you know what happened? The thing is, people have become numb to this thing. And you remember years ago, right? If one person got shot, it was newsworthy. Then 2. Now, if one person is shot, it doesn't really make the news unless it's a person of significance in the society. You know, like a minister, you know, somebody who's well regarded. If it's not like a poor man gets shot, you know, you're nothing about it. You know, you're nothing about it. So That's where we are right now. That we've become so numb to these killings that unless it's like a multiple murder scene, you don't really. And then add on the 9-day wonder to it, or the 7-day wonder, where it'll get featured in the news for about a few days, and then that's it. Then they move on to the next one. So Jamaica is in a bad state, man. It's a bad state. And then don't forget that the crime situation has gotten worse because again the goalpost is at 1208. You have to go below 1208 to say that you're actually making you're getting some success with crime reduction. And then what happened recently? We reward incompetence. We gave the Minister of National Security one of the highest national awards, if not the highest national award, the Order of Jamaica, OJ,
yes.
something like that.
Yes.
Yeah. We give him, as you have referred to it as old jackass, but maybe
because
that's what
you know something, Mr. Rattigan. One of the reasons why I refer to that, sir, and I am not disrespecting the national award ceremony thing either. It's because we keep on awarding people who don't deserve it. The Minister of National Security don't deserve it.
True.
Crime under his watch has gone out of proportion, out of what? But yet we are honoring this man. We're giving this man an award.
Well, yeah, and people don't speak out. They don't speak up. So it's one of those things where you don't say anything, and it's almost like you agree with it.
Yes, Mr. Rattigan, I may have to switch gear here because the lawyer lady who's supposed to come on at the last minute, she
all right, well,
no. Who's supposed to come on can't come on. I need to ask you this question as an attorney at law, an immigration attorney at law. Should Jamaicans living in the diaspora be concerned about the new immigration issue that may come up if our next president should win the election, apart from Kamala Harris?
Of course, because the president can do. There are policies that he can influence, and if he says yes, we're going to send people remember now, a green card is not a right, it's a privilege. A visa is not a right, it's a privilege. And if they extend the privilege to you, they can take it back. And even if you're a citizen, there are things that they can do to rescind your citizenship. So of course they should be concerned. Because the talk is that foreigners coming in and they're eating the cats and the dogs and they're doing this and they're doing that. But with a stroke of a pen, it can create some policies, and then what's going to happen after that? You're going to have lawsuits, right? And God knows how long they'll linger on for. But in the meantime, people are worried.
What would you say to Jamaicans who are living in the United States right now?
Go down, the ones who are eligible to vote, go down vote. Just go down vote. And they know what the issues are because the issues are broadcasted daily on TV and on radio. So they know what the issues are. So if you're concerned about immigration, then take a look at both candidates and say which one would act in your best interest. That's simple.
So in other words, when you hear President Trump stating that he will have a mass deportation of migrants, not only Jamaicans but Latinos and other nationals, a lot of Jamaicans don't realize that it's a privilege to get to have a green card or a privilege to get to have a citizenship.
It's not all right. No. No, they can suspend They can suspend the privileges you get.
Just like that.
Yeah, of course. Just create a policy and just and they have a guy, Stephen, I can't remember Stephen last, who is spearheading this project. And they can just say, no, we're going to get rid of all of these people here. I mean, it's going to be difficult because what's going to happen is that it means they're going to have to spend a lot of money to get rid of these people. And some people have said that it is physically impossible to round up the millions of undocumented aliens here and send them back from whence they came. Plus, remember now, we're talking about people who are legally here now. Then, there's the argument that some of these who are legally here, we need to do some investigation and send them home too.
So if people who may have applications in with Homeland Security and so forth, if the president gets in, former president gets in, he can pass law to say, hey, stop all of those things and deport them.
No, I'm not passing law. There's some kind of presidential directive. Him can just issue an order and say to his Homeland Security secretary and say, this is what I want you to do. And that's it. Done. If you don't like it, then you go file a lawsuit.
Man, that will take a long time because they're still going to tell you to go home.
Yeah, and then remember now, the Supreme Court recently ruled on the powers of the president, and he has vast amount of powers. And then when you talk about protecting the United States, very few courts will step in and tell them, say, no, you can't do this, because once he starts to make the argument that, listen, I'm protecting America from invasion of these people. They should stay where they are and develop their own country. It's a problem. Yeah, no court. You're going to be hard pressed to find a court. And I mean, I'm just oversimplifying it, but essentially that's it. Courts are going to be hard pressed to overrule it because they'll find some way to say that these people are a threat. They're either a threat or they didn't follow the requirements to gain a legal right to be here. They're going to come back and say some of these people they obtained residency through fraudulent means, all kinds of things they'll find. But then again, it's going to take a lot of money because I don't know if they have the funding and if they have the will to lock up the millions and millions and millions of people. But you know what? But they'll try something to try and honor the promise. You know what I mean? They say, hey, we promised this, and so we're going to be doing it. So some people will be caught in the net, and then over time, then it will just slow down.
Okay.
Yeah.
But for now, Jamaicans should be very concerned about this, though.
Not just Jamaicans, anybody who come from another country and they're here, particularly those who are undocumented or those with a green card. Because you've heard the statements made by the former president, and not only him, but you've heard the statements made by some of the people closely aligned to him, and they have concerns about immigration. So and most Americans, if you talk to them, most Americans will tell you that we have some concerns about this. So,
wow. It's going to be a very serious problem that that people are facing. But for a lot of people who comes, can you explain a green card holder and a person who is undocumented?
It's a big difference. Undocumented means that you came here and you were not admitted, you were not inspected, like you crossed the border without a visa. Right? Because if you come with a visa, then you're fine. You'll be inspected and you'll be admitted by Homeland Security personnel.
Mr. Rattigan, you're breaking up. Can you repeat what you just said? You're breaking up.
Yeah, it just means you have no legal. Yeah, it just means you have no legal right. You have no legal right to be here if you're undocumented. So now you have to find a way to convince them that you should be here. The assumption is that you have no you should not. Assumption is that you shouldn't be here. You have no legal right to be here. So you have to find a way to say that you're seeking refuge in America, right? Which is asylum, and then you have to prove to their satisfaction that you're persecuted, and they have 5 or 6 grounds, whether it's sexual orientation, social grouping, race, religion, politics, or you have to prove under one of those grounds that you are being persecuted, and that if you're allowed to, if they send you back home, you run the risk of being killed. So that's what a lot of people are filing, right? Or if you come here and you have a relative, mother, father, even a sister, brother, sibling, they can file for you. It's a very lengthy process, but they can do it. And then you go from there. And there are several other ways you can regularize or legalize yourself. But
do you want to elaborate some more about that, sir? Please.
Some of the ways. Well, see, the thing is, these things you qualify by coming in legally. You have to apply for a visa. So, like, if you're a scientist, if you have some specialty that they don't have in America, if you're an athlete, if you are a member of a church, there's several ways you can qualify to come in. A business can actually sponsor you, in addition to the family-based applications. So you have the job-based, employment-based applications, and then you have the specialty visas. You have the student visa as well. You have a visa if you're a snitch, and you're here, they'll keep you here and have you work. So there are lots of ways. There's lots of ways you can. But the thing is, those things are going to be in jeopardy depending on who gets in tomorrow. Because we know one candidate is against, the type of immigration that we're seeing right now. So the asylum piece is probably not going to be a viable option, or as viable as it is right now.
For those who has green card, how do they obtain a green card then?
You can get there are several ways. This program won't give me enough time to talk about that, but you can get a green card by investment. If you have a certain amount of money and you plan to open a business in the US and hire Americans, you can get a green card. You can get a green card. You can get a green card through family-based petition, where your mother, father, or siblings, they can file for you. And you can get a green card through a VAWA application if you're married and your spouse abused you and did or didn't file for you, or file for you and then start saying that them going to pull the application. You can actually self-file and get a green card. There are lots of ways they can do it. But they would have a cost.
Sorry,
Jamaica left here? Okay. Yeah, there are lots of ways they can do it.
So for those who get a green card through investment, and the former president win now and say people have to go home and whatever, what would they do with people like those?
I'm not telling them people to go home, Jeffrey, because them people are multimillionaires. I'm not telling them that them people them want here. Because those people are providing jobs for Americans. They're not coming to look at jobs. They're coming to invest and provide jobs. Is it right here?
It's the white one.
Wow.
Oh, this one right here? All right, cool.
We're speaking to Mr. Wilfred Rattigan, retired FBI agent.
You have stuff in the trunk?
Oh, yes.
Right.
Back. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You have a good night. Thank you, Liam.
Sorry about that, listeners. Sorry about that. That's how Dad have to do when he alone have to do it up and down at this time of night. We're speaking to retired FBI agent Wilfred Rattigan about INDECOM and about the immigration policies in America.
Just open it and slam it.
Yes, wait.
Oh, sorry. We do apologize about that. about
sure.
immigration policies in America.
Oh, hold on. A moment. Let me.
Oh, about immigration policies in America, because Jamaican Americans rooting for Kamala, but they have mixed feelings about immigration in the United States. And a lot of people is very worried about that right now. You know, I think tomorrow night, Mr. Rattigan, you're gonna have a program tomorrow night about election night in America.
Yeah, I'm on Mystic Sensation tomorrow. In fact, right now we have a program I start right now with a group of people, and they're waiting on me now for about 6 minutes. But it's a standing meeting every Monday night.
Yes.
I'd forgotten about. Shouldn't say that, but
well, yeah, I know you're talking. Yes. Your closing remarks to the Jamaican people and your closing remarks about INDECOM, because INDECOM is saying that the Jamaican authorities, Jamaican security forces, are not wearing body cams, and they're having so much killing going on in the country. I want you to close on those two topics for me, sir. I'll let you go.
well, look, they're not wearing body cam. All right, fine. You have to look at INDECOM's role. Is INDECOM's role just to notify the public that hey, they're not wearing body cams, or is there something else that they're in a position to do? Otherwise, it's just an information agency. You need to apply pressure so that they start wearing body cams, because the feeling is that if you're not wearing the body cam, if you have been supplied body cams and you're not wearing them, you're hiding something. Because otherwise, why wouldn't you want to wear them? And that was one of the reasons, because of the extrajudicial killings, why they said no, we need body cams. And it was just Jamaica. It was international organizations and others saying no, Jamaica, you need to start wearing body cams. And like I said, the US government gave them a handout. I forgot what the number was. And this Prime Minister said, the Minister of National Security said he was spending more than $1 billion Jamaican dollars from 2016 to 2023. So the question is, where did the money go? How many body cams did you purchase? And why aren't they wearing them? So they have to bring pressure to bear on them. It's that simple. And INDECOM has no power to demand that they wear them. They can only ask questions and state facts that they're not wearing them, and we want to know why they're not wearing them. But at the end of the day, this is at the feet of the Prime Minister, Minister of National Security.
And you know what I'm trying to figure out here. I don't hear our good friend Professor Rosalie Hamilton calling out for that. You know, I know maybe she have. I don't know. I want to say good night to Professor Rosalie Hamilton, who I think maybe she's viewing us right now.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't speak for civil society and what they're doing, except for what I read with their press releases. But if they're not, they should, and if they are, more power to them. But we need to have a united front. I mean, if you do it in onesies and twosies, that's not going to cut it, because the government will just avoid you and the issue. What we need to do is get a united front where you can coalesce around the issue and have all of these agencies, all of these groups, civil society, and have them speak out, but not just one time. They have to just constantly speaking out and educating the public about what's going on, because some of the things that this guy is talking about, if they're factual, people don't know this. People don't know them things. People more concerned about putting food on the table right now than listening to this. Even though this is part of the reason why them can't put food on the table, the crime, and the fact that people not wearing the policemen, they're not wearing body cams, because we should be concerned about human rights and civil rights for everyone, not just for some. So that's where we are.
Your closing remarks now on the whole immigration issues with your immigrants.
Well, the immigration thing, like I said, they just have to go out and vote. They just have to go out and vote, because both both sides have told you their views, their positions on immigration. And if you're concerned because you're a foreigner, and when I say foreigner, even if you're a U.S. citizen, you were born somewhere else and you're a U.S. citizen, you should be concerned because they can still take away your citizenship. They're basically doing it. It's not unheard of. And a green card is
Hold on, Mr. Rattigan. Can you repeat what you said about U.S. citizen because you cut out and came back in?
yeah, I said just because you have a U.S. citizenship doesn't mean that it can't be rescinded. They can do it, and it's been done. There are certain bases for doing it, and if you fall into that pool of people, then by all means they'll take it. So you just have to just go out and vote. That's all I can tell you, because whoever you vote for, they will make a policy, and the policy will either benefit you or hurt you. And you have heard the candidate speak, so you just have to make up your mind. You're just going to get in the booth, and that's between you and your candidate and your God. And you make a decision, and then that's it. So my closing remarks to the Jamaicans living in the United States is, if you're a citizen and you're on the voter list, go vote. Like me, I go vote tomorrow morning, bright and early.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I just said there.
Wilfred Rattigan, retired FBI agent, talk show host, the fearless leader. He's dubbed as the fearless leader. A lot of people don't like when we say that, but he's the fearless leader. Mr. Rattigan, thank you very much for coming on.
Yeah, man. I'm going to run now, Jeffrey, because
yes.
So
thanks much.
Take care, everybody. We'll talk soon.
Yeah, man. Thank you very much. Our good friend Wilfred, retired FBI agent, speaking to us for graces with his presence. Head boy is supposed to come on. I don't know what's going on. I think head boy is traveling. And he said, well, he just sent me a message that he's coming on. I would love to get our good friend Sir Robert Finzi-Smith to come on into this discussion here about the INDECOM issue. Because let me go back to this thing here that INDECOM put out. This is the commission of INDECOM put out this, and listen to him keenly.
However, as of yesterday, the 31st of October, 149 people have been killed so far this year, and a further 66 people shot and injured. And as pointed out, the current projection shows that unless trends are reversed by the security forces in Jamaica, 2024 will see the highest level of security force fatal incidents since 2013.
You hear? Listen to him keenly, The security forces has killed Jamaican citizens. Listen to this carefully.
However, as of yesterday, the 31st of October, 149 people have been killed so far this year, and a further 66 people shot and injured. And as pointed out, the current projection shows that unless trends are reversed by the security forces in Jamaica, 2024 will see the highest level of security force fatal incidents since 2013. In 2013, it was 253. So there is a significant issue at present. 2019 saw the lowest number of fatal shootings at 86. Between 2019 and now, there's been an 80% increase in fatal shootings. Each year it has moved up from 115 in 2020, 127 in 2021, 134 killed in 2022, and 155 last year. And we're at 149 now. The report talks about the incident of multiple death incidents, that is the number of people killed in a singular incident. And in 2023, that number was 20. But so far this year, multiple death incidents have accounted for 30 people being shot and killed. There were 2 incidents where 4 people were killed in the single matter, and 2 incidents where 3 people were killed, in addition to the multiple double fatal shootings that we see. What we also noted was, again, the issue of a person being shot and killed, or a person being shot and injured, where they have no weapon at all, neither a firearm nor any other weapon, a stone, scissors, stick, or other implement. And that was a feature last year, and has been a feature for over a decade, that nearly 1/3 of all people shot and killed or injured do not appear to have, or certainly no weapon of any type is recovered from them. This year at the moment, with 2 months still to go, the full data has not been assessed, but it would appear that a smaller number of people, a reduced number of people, have no weapon of any sort. But that is to be looked at.
Have no weapon of the sort. None whatsoever. And police refuse to wear body cams. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, people, we're only going to have the Mek Wi Talk current affair program for 1 hour. It is now 8:47. I was hoping I could get my good friend Robert Francis Smith to come on, but I think maybe he is a bit busy. We're still waiting to have Head Boy. Head Boy is supposed to be coming on. Let me figure out something here. I don't know, but I know the program producers are saying that we mustn't have the program drawn out. Sometimes we can do it, but for the first beginning, we mustn't have it drawn out. So we're going to have the program here coming to a close at about 9 o'clock. Wow. Listen to some more of what INDECOM boss is saying. But, you know, I want to find something here. I hope I can find it. Hold on there. Something that the Clarendon murder rate. Listen to this. You remember I was showing you something that I said every month or every other month a mass shooting happening in Clarendon. I want you to listen to the statistics that was done by CVM. Listen to this.
Clarendon, Jamaica's third largest parish behind St. Catherine and St. Anne, bears a bloody past dating back, like much of the country, to slavery. But after many years, it became a place of history and relative peace, later ruptured by criminal groups and gun runnings as select industries there dried up. Many resorted to violence over time, predominantly who, among other things, fell prey to mass killings, to include the popular Crawl incident in 2003. In that incident, police led by then SSP Renita Adams fatally wounded 4 youngsters during an operation in the area. While decades on and the history of the parish remains stained by crime and violence, even with recent reductions. And what might have been near impossible for some was not for the gangsters and crime influences there, who secured at least 5 mass murders in the last 4 consecutive years. By mass murders, we mean the international definition of the killing of 3 or more people, and that is not legally justified or excusable in a single incident at a single location. That's a definition by the US federal law. History recalls the slain. You'll see on screen Havana Heights, September 2021. Gunmen wreaked havoc, killing 4 people. That tragedy orphaned a young boy around 3 or 4 years old at that time. And a year later, in Cocoa Peace, June 2022, Rashane Barnett reportedly single-handedly cut down a mother and her 4 children, who ironically were his relatives. He's now serving 5 life sentences after his speedy detention and charge. But not even that could deter the criminals who in June 2023 shot and killed 3 people in the Grantham area of Havana Heights at a shop. And that incident was believed to be an act of reprisal following the killing of a farmer back in 2022. And the mass murders didn't end there. Gangsters on October 5 that same year would create another bloodbath, this time in Summerfield, just outside a lounge and grill where 4 men were shot and killed sometime after 1 in the morning. And then Jamaicans were jolted by the news of one of its largest mass murder incidents yet, when gunmen violently shook Cherry Tree Lane, 4 Paths, with a nightmarish attack Sunday night on 2 gatherings, leaving 9 dead, or reportedly at least 8, and 9 others hospitalized. So is there a trend on the rise? What's triggering the bloodlust? And what will it take for it to end? We'll, of course, have our...
And it continued, you know. A mass murder, mass shooting rather. Sunday. Mass shooting on Sunday. It continue and continue and continue and continue. And nothing is being done to really put a grip on the mass shooting in this country. nothing is really done to put a grip on the mass shooting in this country. A lot of people don't like when Robert Bobby Montague is speaking. The former Minister of National Security said in the Parliament again a couple of days ago. But this was said in the Parliament sometime last year by him. And I think a lot of people may say Jeffrey mustn't believe in that, because a lot of people gonna face the gallows innocently. They didn't commit the crime, but yet, But he said something about hanging. I want you to listen to this.
Crime. Madam Speaker, the other solution I have is that it is time for us to arm the society. Any decent law-abiding citizen with a clean police record, no mental issues, or domestic violence conviction should be able to acquire a gun permit within 45 days of applying. Police statistics shows that over the last 10 years, 29 firearm holders have been murdered in Jamaica. 29. In addition, a total of 627 combined major crimes, including shootings, robbery, murder, larceny, have been committed against firearm holders. Madam Speaker, there are 45,000 licensed firearm holders in Jamaica today with 167,000 guns. But remember that persons have multiple licenses, multiple guns, plus there are security companies and gun clubs. There is an average of 30,000 firearm holders over the last 10-year period. Therefore, some 0.09 or 1% of licensed firearm holders have been murdered over a 10-year period, or an average of 0.01 per year. At 627 combined incidents of crime against firearm holders, it shows that only 2% have been affected by crime over the last 10-year period, or an average of 0.2 per year. The figures clearly show that if you are armed, criminals don't mess with you. The criminals have more advanced weapons than the police in many cases. The police and the army are held at bay for hours sometimes in a shootout. Yet we are calling on law-abiding citizens to join the fight against crime. What must they join with, Madam Speaker? Them two long hands, 2 stone and a cutlass? And what they must do with those? Madam Speaker, the long wait for a license sometimes criminalizes the process. Police sources say a used 9mm firearm can be had for $200,000 to $300,000, while the decent law-abiding citizen has to suffer in waiting. It is the long wait sometimes that helps to corrupt the system. We must level the playing field and give the advantage to the law-abiding person. Of course, people will say hanging the statistics crime. Madam Speaker, hanging the statistics show is fit for purpose for Jamaica. It might not work elsewhere, but this 50-year study has clearly shown that hanging keeps murders low in Jamaica. As a matter of fact, Madam Speaker, we should build 4 more gallows. 1 in the west, 1 on the south coast, 1 on the north coast, and 1 in the east. With 5 gallows, most areas will be within 1 hour of one of them. So as the judge passes sentence, straight to the gallows you go. And you must be hung by your neck until you are dead, 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 or until your teeth kill. If we don't want to hang, remove it from the books. But there is a conspiracy of vested interest not to hang, but they are not bold enough to bring that amendment on the floor of this parliament and remove it. If we don't want to hang, take it off the books. Until it is removed, let us hang them by the neck until they are dead, dead, dead. We must hang, shoot, inject or electrocute them or remove it from the books.
Wow. That is some stern words, some very strong words coming out from the former Minister of National Security. And a lot of people saying no, they don't believe in that. I know my good friend Sir Robert Francis Smith must be saying, Jeffrey, look like Jeffrey gone out of his mind. But there you have it. They're calling for hanging in this country. INDECOM is saying that police officers refuse to wear their body cams, it seems like. Jamaicans overseas is worried about the immigration policies if the former president should win. Wow. Very serious times we're in. It is now 8:57. My closing remarks to you all tonight is this. As we go off air, my good friend Sir Headboy apologized for he could not make it because of circumstances beyond his control. He couldn't make it to come on tonight. But he promised you that he will come on next week, Monday night. And next week, Monday night, we'll be on for another current affair program. That's the new start of the Mek Wi Talk program. Every Monday night, we have a segment, a current affair segment. Oh, Lord. Head boy, can you come on into the... Yeah, can you come on into the hold on there. I think... No. I don't have the mic set up because of the new system that we put up here. Oh, Lord. So, can you come on and the video for about a couple of minutes?
Not that you mean on the yes. Let me see if I can come through the thing.
Yes, please. Okay. We do apologize about that. There is something that we haven't set up as yet. There's a system that we have here that we're going to test out to see if that's going to work to make the things much better. But as I said, you know, we are starting a new Mek Wi Talk program every Monday night. It's a current affair program. We bring on different people to come on and speak to us. I think next week, Monday, God spare our sinful life, we'll be having a well-known Jamaican who live overseas who I've been trying to get for a long time to come onto my program. Hopefully we can get him. We're gonna see if we can get an immigration person to come on also to speak to us. And also we're gonna get a security expert to speak to us about what do they think should be done about Jamaica's crime problem. We're gonna get a member of the People's National Party to come on to speak to us about INDECOM. INDECOM has no powers. None whatsoever. And I don't think we should have... I think these politicians craftily, they craft some of the stuff in this country, see, that when they make laws in Jamaica, they make the laws in a sense wherein the Jamaican people... Head boy, welcome to the program.
Hi, Jeffrey. How are you? Forgive me. Forgive me for my late arrival. Students, I'm late, but not too short.
Yes. Head boy, I want you to talk to us a little about INDECOM. Your views on what... I want to play back this thing for you, because I don't think you've heard it.
No, I've heard it.
You've heard it, okay.
From Hamish.
Yes.
Good night to your listeners. Good night to everyone. I think INDECOM has become a toothless organization, and more so because of the removal of Terrence Williams. And that happens when you build institutions around an individual. That's one. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Two, I'm not to diminish the work of Mr. Of Hamish, but to say that INDECOM has suffered a lot because of the draconian measures that is being enforced by you know who, yeah, and being pushed by Andrew and his band and his merry band. So it has suffered, and it is sad to see an institution that was built by their leader, Mr. Golden, yeah, and buffeted by the People's National Party when they came to power, and Peter Bunting has come to an halt in this manner, yeah. And it's just almost like a toothless dog. Yeah. So it has suffered, but they have tried with the little resources they have been given, and with the measures that have not been working for them. Because how could you have 3,000 body cams issued but they're not operational. They're not on when operations are going on. So that's a first red flag. Yeah. And it should be mandatory that every single, whether you be in the military or you're in the army, once you're outside of the camp, you wear that body cam. Every individual. Yeah. Remember, Jeffrey, that we wasted $60 million on news card that we never get. That could that could retrofit all of them. Yeah, that could retrofit all the police officers in Jamaica. So when you hear people talking, you know why things are the way they are because of greed and corruption as well. Yeah, when you are renovating a police station over there in Spanish Town, where they call it Sunnyside or Shady Grove,
and a waterbed.
But Shady Grove is not so shady at all. Yeah, I think I should move it to Water Grove. Yeah, or Mangrove if they prefer. But
or a swamp.
Yeah, well, so and they have spent roughly around 100 and 200 million on that police station. That could retrofit the entire army and police force, back up all the data, and pay even the personnel in that area to store the data.
You mean and it also could build a brand new Bustamante hospital?
Well, a lot could have been achieved out of some of the resources that were sniped. So really and truly, I want to come in INDECOM. I'm not going to be one who calls down the organization because it's doing a work that is important. But it needs to be given the teeth, somewhat like the Integrity Commission. This administration seemingly does not respect watchdog entities that hold them and their agents accountable. And that's the issue we have. They are afraid of accountability.
My good friend, head boy.
But before I go, because I know you're going, before I go, right, all I have to say is there's no way I could come here and not even spend 2 minutes with you on what is going to happen in the US elections.
Yes.
Because I have never been wrong in calling it. I called it in 2008 when Obama first ran. I called it in 2016 when Trump won. And I called it in 2020 when Biden won. I am now calling it without any reservation that the Democrats will take the election. And let me tell you why. People need to understand there are seven to eight swing states, I call them in America. Really 7. Yeah. Yes. But when you put Michigan in the mix, you get 8. Yeah. Michigan has always been strongly blue, but in 2016 it swung to Donald Trump. Yeah. So it has suffered. It has that sort of a history of going that way. So the truth be told is, if you really look at it, with Pennsylvania, the Latino vote in Pennsylvania and the Polish vote, I think that will give her the edge because there's over 640,000 Puerto Ricans living in Pennsylvania. Remember, this is a numbers game. Yeah. Then there's also over 1 million Polish people living in Pennsylvania, and they're worried about the future of NATO and whether or not Trump would, as he say, remove America from NATO. Yeah, and a NATO that does not have an American ally is a weak NATO. Yeah, so those are some issues in some of these states. The issues, the southern states, they call that the Rust Belt. Pennsylvania, Michigan, the southern states now, Georgia, North Carolina, right? South Carolina, and also places Nevada, Arizona, and did I say Georgia?
Yes.
So those are going to be some key battleground areas, and based upon what you have seen, the early voting in those areas have been good, which means that the Democrats have been rallying their base. Remember now, the Democrats is the only organization that does not have a split in its base. From I've been looking at American elections, there have never been an American election where you have Republicans saying they're for the Democratic president. Yeah, it is in essence you're hearing a base of the JLP saying they're for Mark Golding. Yeah. So obviously the Republican base is fractured. Yeah. that is things that a lot of people are not looking at. When you have a fractured organization in terms of its base, yeah, Republican women for Kamala, because these people have said they will never vote for Trump again. This is Republicans, who all their life have voted Republican. Yeah, so we need to look at that. The mainstream media, as Trump says, the fake media, because obviously he has his own fake media too. They are not talking about that. They are not talking about the fractured base. And a fractured base, remember, in 2020, Joseph Biden gave Donald Trump the heaviest beating any president in the US has ever given anybody. I want you to know that it was bigger than what Obama did in 2008. So, and if Biden was so weak then, was still not so popular as Kamala. Kamala is trending more than him. She has increased her support amongst minority. She's getting 89 from the black, 80 something from the Latinos. And women, she's leading him 16-1. He's leading her among men, particularly white men, 18-1. But when you really add up the numbers, there's not much that he can outtake her with. So on the day, it will be those who can bring out their base and those who can motivate the undecideds or the independents, as they call them in the US, to come out. There's going to be an interesting battle. And I think the same card is going to play out in Jamaica. And I want to look at the similarities as we go, because that is how the Jamaican experience is going to work out. Yeah? You're going to have a scenario where people think it is close, but it's not all that close. Because remember, there's a fractured base now in the JLP. Yes? There's a splinter base. When you hear Kim Lawrence Brown accounts are saying that she was never supported, she did no wrong, and she have to be paying the price. Yes?
And nobody to her rescue.
Nobody to her rescue. And remember now she's a sitting councillor, and she said, no wait, no think I saw it go. So really and truly, when you look at that, Jeffrey, you can say to yourself that it is obvious that they have a fractured base and they will not be able to make it in 2025, come September next year. So it is obvious that there are some similarities. And as I won't keep you any long, all I would say is tomorrow it's in for a rough ride. But
and of course you will be here with us tomorrow as we bring you live coverage of the United States election.
I will be there. I will be here on my face, on my teeth, on my foot, and on my hand. Because I don't think you understand how historical this is to me. Remember in 2008, I never forget it, in my father's lovely quarters in Belvedere, St. Andrew. Yes? It was 19A Belvedere Road. Yeah?
Why are you giving us the address?
No, man, that's my old house, man. They could go there now.
Okay.
We sat there at 19A Belvedere Road. And I can tell you, my father supported the Republican Party then proudly, because he obviously have Christian values and so. And I had my Obama hat, and I recall then that I proudly wore it in school, and I said Obama would win. And yes, we can. And the Kamala's message of change has been, as the American people have latched on to it. They're not changing what is now, They don't want you to change what they've achieved. Yeah? Why we're in Jamaica, we're fighting for change. The Americans are fighting to keep what has been changed. Yeah? And that is very important. So anyway, Brother Jeffrey, to you and your listeners, I thought it would have been improper for me not to even come and try to honor coming on. So
yes,
all the best, brother. And we have a long ride for tomorrow. So
yes. So
the night is going to be long.
Remember, people, make sure you have your popcorn and everything for live coverage of the United States election night in America. Join the Mek Wi Talk program. Well, we're going to analyze the election tomorrow. We're going to have with us Head Boy and others. I think we're going to have also Dr. Karen Dunkley will be on the program tomorrow also. So join us tomorrow for live coverage of the 2024 election night in America. Who will win?
Where will your coverage be coming from? Will it be coming from MSNBC, or will it be coming from CBS?
I think it's CBS we're going to come in from, or ABC. Why?
I would tell you, try to see if you could get MSNBC.
I'll do that. I'll try my endeavor best.
Yeah.
I hope that
They have one of the best
coverage.
In terms of like Don Anderson, they have a guy named Steve Kanaki.
Oh
right?
yes.
Steve is very good. Steve is one of the best. He started at a very young age, from 10-9, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So he's very good.
Head boy, thanks for coming on, my
brother.
friend. Remember to join us tomorrow. I'll talk to you off air.
All the best.
Yeah, man, all the best
to your listeners there.
Thank you very much.
Cheers,
yes, cheers to you, to my co-host, Head Boy, for coming onto the program. It is now 12 minutes after 9 o'clock. The new edition of the Mek Wi Talk program is Mek Wi Talk Current Affair, with yours truly, Jeffrey T, Head Boy, and our other co-host, Marie. We're going to speak to Marie tomorrow. Hopefully, we can get through to her tomorrow for next week. But next week, Monday, join us for an exciting episode of next week, Monday. We'll still continue to come on during the week, but on Monday, every single Monday at 8 o'clock, the Mek Wi Talk program come to you with a current affair program. Next week, Monday, we're going to speak to you about an exciting episode. We'll let you know what is going to be during the week. God bless you, but join us tomorrow from 6 p.m. From 6 p.m. tomorrow, hopefully. We will be bringing you live coverage of the United States election. It's election night in America, live on the Mek Wi Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. God bless you. May God bless Jamaica land we love. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe to the Mek Wi Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. Until you hear our voice again. Continue to show love to others. Continue to respect others. Continue to pray for our island home, Jamaica land we love. Just a reminder to everyone that there is a the Meteorological Service of Jamaica is advising that the tropical storm warning in effect for Jamaica as an area of low pressure over the South Central Caribbean Sea has now developed into a tropical storm. This means that tropical storm conditions are expected to affect the island within the next 6 to 12 hours. This is Mek Wi Talk breaking news. I producer behave yourself. The Meteorological Service of Jamaica is advising that a tropical storm warning remain in effect for Jamaica as an area of low pressure over the South Central Caribbean Sea has now developed into a tropical storm. This means that tropical storm conditions are expected to affect Jamaica within the next 12 to 6 hours. And this don't look good at all. So Jamaicans from all walks of life, please take this serious. It does not matter, but please take this serious. It doesn't matter how it look to you. You may say it's not coming. Take this serious. Take this very, very, very serious, okay? Thank you all for coming on. Thank you all for being a part of the program. You can join Hot Topic program that's on now, I think. Thank you all for coming on. May God bless you. May God bless Jamaica land we love. Remember to join us tomorrow for live coverage of the United States election right here on the Mek Wi Talk program. God bless you. May God bless our island home, Jamaica land we love. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Have a good night, everyone.
When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, Mek Wi Talk, my people, Mek Wi Talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Mek Wi Talk, people, Mek Wi Talk. Conversation is the key. a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. So people, make we talk. Hey, we're living in a world that on ourselves we must depend. Make we talk.